Are you protesting social injustice? Whether you're denouncing police brutality or government overreach, pursuing either legal or extra legal means of retaliation, you'll find plenty of interest within these pages by a fellow insurrectionist. Great job with the sources this time, CBC News. Now, I've been talking about this for weeks, and this is the Reclaiming Canada conference that's happening June 21st through 23rd. It's just about a week away. I'll be there amongst other amazing speakers. We have Zuby, Dr. McCullough, Brian Peckford, the last standing signatory of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms here in Canada, amongst other many great speakers. But hey, CBC seems to have an issue with the conference, and well, they wrote an article about it. Here we go. Here come the hit pieces, and we all knew this was coming, but this is just, it's really ironic because, of course, this conference, which is happening again next week, and if you don't have tickets for it yet, they're almost sold out completely. Some of the days are actually sold out, and you can get virtual tickets. I'll leave a link in the description down below where you can watch it virtually from the safety of your own home, from anywhere in the world, actually. This is the beauty of the internet. 2S LGBTQI+ community advocates oppose We Unify conference. Well, this is strange. Why? Because this is a conference about misinformation in media. Well, they're handing us a perfect example of misinformation in media with this article here. And thank you so much. Really appreciate. The irony is not lost on any of us. According to the group 1 Million Voices for Inclusion, it would sound like that group is a lot of people, a lot more than two, by the way. It would sound like that group is, but we'll get into that a little bit later. The We Unify movement propagates transphobia. It's an organization, and they're holding a conference annually. It's the third annual. There's been no other issues, but of course, it's the thing du jour. It's the thing to advocate against is transphobia, or whatever it is. It's something that this event has nothing to do with. On Thursday evening, a group that advocates for the rights of transgender and non-binary people will be protesting outside Victoria Hall before speaking before City Council. Okay, it's not a group, it's he requests that the Victoria Conference Centre not be used for the third annual We Unify conference, June 21st through 23rd. Little side note, the conference center is publicly owned and is inclusive to everybody. The whole idea of inclusivity is also inclusivity of ideas that maybe you don't agree with. But of course, the way we do things now is if you don't agree with it, it's hate speech. According to the group 1 Million Voices for Inclusion, the We Unify movement is propagating transphobia, and its Reclaiming Canada conference will feature disturbing speakers who have been reported for hate speech against the 2S LGBTQI+ community. Reported by who? Convicted? No. But reported, apparently. We Unify presents itself as an independent, nonpartisan volunteer organization that confronts deep-rooted challenges to democracy while defending against new threats. Now, they give a little bio on the guy who wrote the article, of which it was their only source. And I suppose, why don't we get into some of that? Before we get into some of that, there's, well, they reached out to We Unify. We Unify group was not available for an interview, but refers to a statement on its website. He explains that the conference aims to bring together different actors to confront the imminent threat of disinformation and censorship. How ironic that this is what is happening in this article, is that they're painting it as some other conference for some other reason. It really is about disinformation that's been happening and censorship across social media, and to advance the freedom and safeguard our democracies. He assures that the exchange will be courteous and will take place in a safe environment, which I believe to be accurate. They have a track record of 2 years of doing this exactly. Now, city advocates, the city invokes freedom of expression. Now, Ace Mann, who heads the Victorian Pride Society, says that We Unify conference is simply not welcome. Transgender people have been here since time immemorial. that since before Victoria was even established as a city, and will be here for the rest of time. He adds. Now, I want to. This is the beauty of these kinds of publications. I'll show you a picture of Ace Man. This is Ace Man. This is an individual. I don't want to say too much, but this individual describes themselves as non-binary. So there's the they, them pronouns. I'm assuming that's non-binary. Maybe it's something else. I'm not sure, but obviously the CBC grossly misgendering this individual. Of course, the city clapped back and said, "I'm sorry, but this is a matter of free speech, and we open our doors to all kinds of speech, even speech that you don't agree with." Now, what is the well, actually, let's get into it. More than just the CBC have been writing the articles. Of course, the Times columnist jumped on this one as well. Rally called to protest Victoria event featuring convoy organizers, transphobic speakers. Oh, now it's evil convoy organizers. Yeah, that's right, because Tamara Litch and Chris Barber will be there, amongst many other speakers that will be there. I'm looking forward to it. But this is an amazing part. The Reclaiming Conference Center, the Reclaiming Canada Conference is set for June 21st to 23rd. Is hosted by We Unify, a self-described independent and volunteer group that confronts deep-rooted challenges in democracy while defending against new threats. I don't understand why the caveats when it comes to the people that obviously the author disagrees with, because there's no caveat in talking about 1 million voices for inclusion. No, so self-described as 1 million voices, 1 million extra personalities in the two people that write this blog. But let's get into it. So here is the blog that is the only source of information in these two articles, which is fantastic, because this is exactly what this conference is about. It's about disinformation in media, where they get their sources, where they get their stuff. This is what I've been doing on this channel, and this is why we need more people in here in this space being watchdogs against media that are running essentially propaganda pieces. This is essentially that, because this is their only source. And again, as I pointed out at the beginning of the video, there's this little blurb that's on the side saying, whether you are denouncing police brutality or government overreach, pursuing either legal or extra legal means of retaliation, not argumentation or anything like that, retaliation, you'll find plenty of interest within these pages by a fellow insurrectionist. This is the only source for the CBC article, a fellow insurrectionist, as it's put here. Now, in every article on the website, you'll see this pop up, and it's the mantra of this group, Rule Breakers, to which CBC and Times columnists have quoted and are using as their sole source. So there's no excuse for why maybe they didn't see this. It's on the side. It's on the margin of every single article. Now, the article, which CBC failed to mention, was in response to my video talking about a previous article that was published by Czech News, a smaller publisher, a smaller publication, saying Victoria Pride Society denounces transphobic speakers, scheduled at a CD-owned conference center. Now, in that article, at the bottom, they said that We Unified also did not respond to our requests for comments. Now, this is an archived version, because when I reached out and I asked the author of this, why did you lie about that? I reached out to We Unify, or were they lying to me when they said that they did reach out? Instead of saying anything, they just quietly edited the article to say We Unify said that they have a press release coming in the coming days. Great authors over there. No wonder she's at Czech News. But this is the story here, which he purports to say that he shut down every argument that I gave and gave huge examples of why the people that he's said is slandering in this article are transphobic. Again, not with any supporting evidence, is just it's just ad hominem. It's just saying these people are bad. I don't like things that they may have said, may or may have not said. Things maybe may or may not have been taken out of context. But one thing that I found really interesting in this article, he says, it's not just the personal opinions of the conference speakers, but that of the organization as a whole, as evidenced, for example, by this recent entry on Substack, posturing this article on Global News about the decline in support for LGBT rights among Canadians. Now, is that a gotcha? The Substack article has a quote, an unedited and uncommented on quote from Global News. Oh no, the big bad guys are quoting a major publisher in the country of Canada. Again, yeah, this is their source. This is where it's coming from. Now, it turns out that this blog is written by one individual who has has put things out on all of the social medias, including YouTube, with a myriad of videos of just documenting protests. You'd find this interesting to virtually nobody, but hundreds and hundreds of these videos, and it's reminiscent of some of the individuals that Kareem Assad has been documenting and calling. A nickname for them is pro wrestlers, because they're usually bombastic, and they show a lot of the same characteristics of the pro wrestlers from the WWF in the 1980s and 90s, when it was really over the top and they were going nuts. Now, these are perennial protesters that show up to these events, and you may know one in particular, Deanna Sharif, which was in the tweet there with Kareem Assad, who incidentally was arrested and held without bail. I think is currently still held without bail for her involvement in these protests and assault on several individuals. Now, the person in question who wrote this blog actually reached out to me to tell me about crashing the party. Here's an email that was sent to me. Hi, Clyde. I'm the one who's crashing the party in Victoria. I watched your clip in response to the article on Czech News about the Victoria Pride Society calling for the conference to be shut down. I just wrote an extensive reply on my blog answering your every allegation of misinformation with concrete examples of transphobia by the creeps you associate with. And here's the link, and that's the one I just showed you. I look forward to being the subject of your next episode. Come on, make me famous. And it seems like this is what this is really all about individuals trying to make themselves famous. Hence why the names are blopped out in this. But of course, I replied saying, I don't think you need any help in your pursuit of becoming famous. You seem to be doing just fine on your own. Thanks for reaching out, Clyde. Of course, this is what's been fueling these articles, again, from the CBC. Really doing not much homework on this one to find out who this individual is. It didn't take me very long to figure this out, but we're talking about a conference that's happening in British Columbia that has many people paying. I think the capacity is about $1,500 people, and many of the events in it are sold out, if not all of them sold out, and people buying virtual tickets to watch this online. This is a big major event, probably the biggest of its kind to happen in Canada. No wonder there's all kinds of pushback. And again, links in the description down below if you want to be there, if there's any tickets left, or if you want to watch it virtually as it happens. Because we don't know what exactly might happen at this event. It might turn out to be quite interesting. Anyway, without this video going much longer, I just wanted to point this out. But hey, I want to leave this one up to you guys. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about the idea of disinformation, misinformation in media, and where they get their sources. It's really interesting that someone with a no traffic blog like this could get this much traffic as they slander individuals that are making a serious effort to combat disinformation in this country. And of course, the article itself being disinformation about the conference. irony, tremendous irony. Anyway, leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think. And of course, we'll see you tonight in the live stream and next week at the conference, Monday morning with a new video.